His name and give him thanks because he is worthy of all of our praise. I want to thank our Voices of Calvary choir for blessing us today. What an outstanding expression of worship that they have offered up to our God and for our encouragement. Today, it's been months since we've heard them, and we are grateful to have them in our midst today, sharing with us through song. It really is a good day to be in the house of God. It's a good day to be a Christian. It's a great day to be alive. And we are grateful that the Lord gives us this privilege of freedom to worship Him in spirit and truth. And for that, we are eternally grateful. I want to thank our media ministry and our entire band and all of our staff that continues to help ensure that worship goes forth in a very real way each Wednesday and each Sunday. And I am thankful to be able to pastor such a wonderful church that continues to strive together for the gospel in spite of both a physical pandemic and a social pandemic. We continue to move on because the Lord gives us grace and strength to do so. And so today we are grateful and thankful to be able to have you viewing with us in worship. Today I want to conclude our series in the book of Jonah. Last week we picked up with the Lord saving the Ninevites and wiping their slates clean. Jonah chapter 4 is the response of Jonah to the Lord's gracious mercy. And I want to read Jonah chapter 4 in your hearing. I'm reading from the English Standard Version of the Bible. Whatever copy of God's Word you have, we'll make sure that you get a full understanding by the time we are done. But I want to read Jonah chapter 4 in its entirety, verses 1 through 11, and then we will hear what God has to say and what He's already said in His Word. But it displeased Jonah exceedingly, and he was angry. And he prayed to the Lord and said, O Lord, is not this what I said when I was yet in my country? That is why I made haste to flee to Tarshish, for I knew that you are a gracious God and merciful, slow to anger and abounding in steadfast love, and relenting from disaster. Therefore now, O Lord, please take my life from me, for it is better for me to die than to live. And the Lord said, do you do well to be angry? Jonah went out of the city and sat to the east of the city and made a booth for himself there. He sat it under it in the shade till he should see what will come of the city. Now the Lord God appointed a plant and made it come up over Jonah, that it might be a shade over his head, to save him from his discomfort. So Jonah was exceedingly glad because of the plant. But when dawn came up the next day, God appointed a worm that attacked the plant so that it withered.